Good afternoon, everybody. Justin Publon here, WisconsinWX.com meteorologist, talking about, well, the snow that's going to be coming up and then a little bit about the 7-day forecast. First, though, I just want to share that on the YouTube page, I did upload a new video yesterday. It's about 9 minutes long, and it's just a little different. It's like an experiment for me. Typically, I like to do more of an action packed, upbeat, high tempo sort of video. But this is the opposite. This is more of a relaxed, almost hypnotic. But it's also just kind of showcasing what the capabilities of the Panasonic HCX1 camera is or are because I have been using it for several years, and I just wanted to try to see if maybe I could get more traffic or some people might be coming through just to see what the camera can do. So it's an experiment, okay? It's not the way things will be here going all the way forever. So, anyways, that's an explanation on that. Yeah, I mean, in the end, with the video, the footage, to me, it just felt like I've done a lot of this stuff before. There was nothing really uniquely interesting about it, but it was a nice artistic way to do things. So, all right, going over to current warnings. All right, so well, this is actually the warnings. I call this the classic map. It's radar and warnings. A few new things you'll notice is that this map is now in landscape mode, but also a new logo up here, which is actually the mobile logo, which I put up in there. And then also a new one of these things over here. Actually, I can't draw over there all the way, but that's the legend. So the legend you'll see how that changes over time. But I was pretty excited about that. Also, these report warning dots have got a little bit of a facelift, just a little bit to make it clear to see that boldened the text on there. But yeah, right now, not a whole lot going on. I see that there's a lot of action over here in Lower Michigan. Lots of snow over there. That was lake effect predominantly. And now we have what looks like a winter weather advisory popping up here in Iowa and very far southern portions of Minnesota. On a regional scale, that looks like this. Okay, that's just a little dot. It's not. I don't know if this is going to make it into Wisconsin. I mean, I'll show you why, but they may let it ride as it is. But yeah, that's the current situation. So while there is snow coming, it doesn't appear to be a major system. We'll go right through it right now. This is picking it up here on the NAM low resolution model. And this is about, we're going to put that at around 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. So today is Saturday, tomorrow is Sunday. So Sunday, the 21st of February. So that's actually pretty interesting, right? 2/21/21 or 2/21/2021. Wow, something else. But yeah, you're looking at this stage now. Remember where that advisory was kind of in this zone now, is this low pressure system, which is kind of on the weak side. But this disturbance overall moves through. It kind of hits that area the most, the heaviest. Now, again, it's not like I mean, when you'll see it come through, there'll be little things you'll probably notice. But I'm kind of like looking at this right here, like, okay, what's up with that? There's just gaps in there, so it's probably just that the forcing is the strongest right in here. Okay, and then you have something that kind of comes off of it, like a little, I don't know what you want to call it, but like a leaf or yeah, like a tail almost. That kind of probably my guess is I didn't really look at this, but sometimes the photogenesis will take shape more along that, more of a elongated, like kind of like along a frontal boundary, something like that. Again, these are just minor details. I'm just trying to get you thinking about a couple of things here, because what I'm noticing is this feature in here, wherever that ends up going, you'll probably end up overperforming in some areas. You'll have the locally higher amounts likely associated with this feature, wherever it ends up being. And a lot of the models do have it where the NAM has it, but we'll see. And if it doesn't show up, it doesn't show up, and then our forecast will be right on target. But I'm willing to take that risk, I guess. But anyways, as we go through time, again, this main section here looks like it's going to come out this way, and you'll see that over time here. And then, so it was these are like 3 hour blocks, each one of these model run images, but then you go to here, it's 6 hours. So it looks like it's moving really fast. But yeah, so you're seeing that snow goes through Wisconsin, but you have issues. I mean, one of the areas here, it's like the models are kind of apprehensive about the snow amounts there, just at this certain time period, but this is what I'm seeing in general. But the other thing to notice is this feature is still here. So again, what in history, typically what I remember seeing a lot of the time is that you may have something occurring further north from where the main area appears to be that is just of a higher efficiency for snow production, and you may have some banding in there or something. So that's just something I'm thinking about. It's not that it, because if I thought it was going to be a major thing, I would put that in my map, and I'll show you in a sec. But and that goes through, and then that's it. So by midnight, okay, I would say by midnight it's pretty much done. You may have some snow lingering around at the far east there, but the timing is probably all different between the models, and the NAM doesn't necessarily do the best um, on the timing from. Okay, so this is 10 to 1. We're going to go to the European right away. This is the so at 10 to 1. This is the main zone of accumulation. You're probably going to do better than 10 to 1 in some of these areas. Because of Wisconsin, I think there's a few factors. But one of them being that the timing is during the middle of the afternoon. So if it's not snowing at a nice, good clip, that's one issue. So you lower the impact that way. You tend to get lower snowfall amounts. That's just my opinion. But over here, you get it more towards the morning or midday hours. So morning coming into the midday, and you tend to do a little bit better. Again, this is just 10 to 1, but also in addition to the 2 to 3 inches that the European is showing. I'm just telling you kind of the things I'm thinking about in terms of what this will actually look like on your, on your sidewalk or on the street. The European, and that's the European. The GFS now I think might be a little bit too aggressive. It goes all the way up to 5 here at 10 to 1 in central Iowa. Okay, we're more concerned about Wisconsin, but the other thing to notice here in Wisconsin is there that stripe. Okay, remember I showed you in that previous view on the reflectivity that's where that comes from. Okay, so you might see that doing better than on a local basis, doing better than 3 inches. That would not surprise me at all. But I think 1 to 3 in general for this region would definitely be good enough. Okay, to cover that. The NAM at a 10 to 1, a little different. I think it's a little bit further west with this maximum here. Again, if you look at the NAM, the GFS doesn't. The European doesn't really have that maximum. It's not as clear, but I think it is there. The NAM has it, and the GFS is just a little bit different spot. So you're thinking that, when you go back to looking at the warnings map, there's where you have the advisor. Okay, that makes sense. I agree with it. All right, here's my forecast. I'm doing a broad 1 to 3. Okay, I'm not going to get too crazy detailed with where I think that you might go overboard, because there's a chance that it may not happen exactly the way I've kind of said it, but. I think there's a higher likelihood of that 3 to 5. Anything 3 or greater, there's a much higher likelihood over in this region. Again, I think that you could probably draw something in here somewhere that may be a plus locally higher amount, but at this moment, I think this covers it. I think that's a good place to start. It's a low-end event, and we don't really want to get too crazy with the hype and stuff like that. That's the map page. That's that. Okay, so let's talk about the next 7 days. It looks like Saturday is today. Sunday, it's going to warm up closer to freezing, and maybe that has something to do with the snow too. That maybe that if you're in the east or in a warmer naturally, like a city or something like that, that you may not see as much of an impact on the snow if the temperature is closer to freezing. And then it's Monday through Wednesday, warming up. Now I think that 40, I think that 37. That's optimistic. There's a lot of snow on the ground. And you may get there, but I won't get too excited about that. You may end up being closer to that freezing line. Okay, that's my expectation. Too optimistic on this 40. And as we go through the week, we'll see how the rest of the week evolves. That's the other issue, not the issue, but the other thing I'm thinking about is, where are we going to go temperature-wise next week? Because it does look warmer, yes, okay? Because it's been close to 0. We had several days of zeros and single-digit high temperatures in Wisconsin. A 20, 30 certainly would be much warmer than what we've seen recently. So if we pick it up here on Sunday with that system moving through, cools off for a little bit with fresh snow. But as we go in the week there, Tuesday, you're seeing temperatures really increase. Okay, and that makes sense. Especially look at Eastern Canada here. Okay, this is really a positive anomaly on the 2-meter temperature forecast there. But then as we go through the week, you have pockets of warmer and then pockets of slightly cooler. So it's not like on a regional large scale pattern. I just don't see a very clear cut one way or the other. This might be more of a seasonal normal signal, just kind of up and down a little bit. As we go into the later part of next week, maybe it cools off again. Again, a lot of these models, especially GFS, at a long range, does want to warm it up, like go way warm in early March. but we're out here at 280 hours, and I just don't have much faith in it right now. Okay, that's sort of what the models are leaning towards, but we'll see how that exactly goes. I think that with with the snow that we have built up across the country here, we might end up a little bit colder than that. And then there's other things that can happen. Sometimes this pattern will get pushed off weeks, and one week to the next to the next. You never seem to warm up, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Here's the GFS on a broad scale. Again, Wisconsin's right here. We're just going to look at what this whole pattern ends up coming down, boiling all down to here. Here's the system coming through for Sunday. And again, if you're looking at it, what I see is just a weak low pressure system, a weak disturbance, but it's enough to kick off snow on a more of a widespread scale, light to maybe moderate in some areas where the advisory is. And then that comes on through. Okay, this is not a major system. And then as you go into next week, I see another system there with a band of snow. Now, sometimes, again, like I mentioned, right away at the get-go, I said, sometimes this, especially this time of year, I've seen it not 100 times because I wouldn't be that old. Several times in my life, I've seen it where snow just kind of ends on a local basis, overperforms, and you can hit a band like something like this, okay, where it doesn't snow in the north, doesn't snow in the snow so much, but like for example, Oshkosh, we could just get 7 inches out of nowhere, and you go, what the heck? This is the kind of, in my opinion, pattern that we may be going into just for a little bit here. Growing up in Oshkosh, I always remember it's like not the major storms never really brought the snow. It was always the weird random ones at the end of the season. So who knows? Maybe we get lucky there. If you love the snow, maybe you get lucky and you miss it out entirely, if that's what you're into. But I love the snow. So there's the snow coming through, perhaps, okay, early mid part of next week. Okay, that might change the temperature prediction a little bit too, okay? So it's one other thing to keep in mind. As we go through time, another weak system, nothing major, okay? When we're going through next week, we're not seeing anything major snowfall-wise, system-wise. And then on the GFS here, out towards next Monday, not the coming, but the next, that's March 1st, it tries to blow up a major system on the East Coast. So we'll see about that. Who knows? Who knows how that'll actually go. But yeah. And that's what we got. So it only goes out tonight, 294 hours. So, but that's all right with me. Oh, it actually goes out a little farther. Because when I was looking at this initially, it was still loading up those images. All right, guys. Well, that's what I got for you today. If you want any more information on the forecast for the storm coming up here, I will show you where to find it. It's here. You go to the home page and then click through to that storm event page there. And I got the maps here. I also have been keeping track on a text format basis, what I'm kind of thinking. And I'll keep updated on that. Maybe tomorrow I might do another one, but there's a chance I could do one tonight too if things are looking like they're going a little bit different from what I've mentioned here today. Thank you guys for watching, and enjoy the snow.